Let's be honest, most people using AI right now are, well, they're training their own replacement. They ask you for quick answers, get a little intellectually lazy, and slowly but surely they're making themselves obsolete. But what if there's a completely counterintuitive way to use it, a method that's not just about getting answers, but about fundamentally training your own brain to get, well, dangerously smart? That's exactly what we're going to explore.
This is really the central paradox of our time, isn't it? On one hand, AI offers this incredible convenience. It can write for us, research for us, analyze things for us. But that convenience, it's a trap. A trap that can lead straight to intellectual laziness. The alternative, though, is to completely flip the script and use AI to become one of the most intelligent people in any room you walk into. The choice is absolutely yours.
So what's the big secret? It's actually pretty simple. The most effective people on the planet are using AI completely backwards from how everyone else does. They're not just prompting for an answer and then, copying and pasting. No way. They're using AI as a sparring partner, as a personal trainer, as a tool to sharpen their own thinking. It's a massive, fundamental shift in approach.
So how do we actually do it? We're going to walk through a powerful 4-step framework that'll turn AI from a simple crutch into a jetpack for your mind. First, we'll cover the zone of laziness. Then, we'll climb the intelligent hill. After that, we're heading to the intelligent gym. And finally, we'll discover why it pays to be an intelligent fool before I give you your first practical step.
All right, first up, step 1, the zone of laziness. Now, I know this sounds totally backwards, but the first step to getting smarter with AI is actually getting smarter about being lazy. It's all about figuring out which tasks deserve your full obsessive attention and which ones you should hand off immediately.
And it all comes down to understanding these two different types of work. See, on one side, you've got tasks with capped payoffs. Think about things like formatting slides or writing a routine internal email. After a certain point, putting in more effort gives you absolutely zero additional return. But on the other side, we've got uncapped payoff tasks. We're talking big stuff like product design or finding the perfect co-founder. Here, a tiny 1% improvement can lead to exponential, just absolute moonshot results.
The key to mastering that first curve, those capped payoff tasks, is a concept from Nobel laureate Herbert Simon called satisficing. It's a mix of the words satisfy and suffice, and it's brilliant. It's the art of knowing when to stop when the work is simply good enough, so you can save all that precious energy for the things that really truly matter.
So how do you decide what's good enough to just hand over to AI? Well, you use this super simple framework, drag. D is for drafting. Let the AI beat that scary blank page for you. R is for research. Let it summarize articles and gather intel. A is for analysis. Have it find patterns in data that you might miss. And G is for grunt work. All the boring, repetitive stuff. Use AI to literally drag these jobs right off your plate.
Okay, so you've offloaded all the right tasks. Now it's time to get way better at the ones you decided to keep. And that brings us to step 2, the intelligent hill. This is all about architecting your questions, your prompts, to get truly elite, next-level results from your AI.
The biggest mistake I see people make is treating AI like a calculator. They think you put in 2 + 2, you always get 4. But AI is not a calculator, it's a probability engine. It can be brilliant one moment and kind of confused the next. A much better way to think about it is like a drunk genius. It has this immense, world-changing potential, but it needs clear, careful guidance from you. You're the sober driver. Now, climbing this hill happens in stages. Most people are stuck at the bottom, using what we call zero-shot prompts. They just ask a question and kind of hope for the best. You can immediately level up by giving it one clear example. That's one shot. Even better is few shot, where you give it a few examples so it can spot the pattern. But the real magic, the real game changer, happens at the very top. And that brings us to that 4th level, chain of thought reasoning. You get there by adding a simple phrase like this to your prompt. Forcing the AI to think step by step and show its work actually slows it down. It cuts down on errors, and it dramatically improves the quality of whatever it gives you. You're not just asking for an answer anymore. You're demanding a thought process.
Okay, so you're delegating better, you're prompting smarter, you're moving faster than ever before. Now this is where most people stop. But here comes the plot twist. The top performers, they deliberately slow down. Welcome to step 3, the intelligent gym, where long-term intelligence is built not through convenience, but through resistance. Think about astronauts in space for a second. Without the resistance of gravity, their muscles and bones actually start to waste away. AI can be exactly like zero gravity for your mind. If you use it to avoid all mental friction, All the hard thinking, your ability to think critically will just atrophy. It's simple. No friction, no load, no growth.
So this brings us to a core principle. For information tasks, like, say, summarizing a really long document, you should absolutely use AI to remove all the friction. Make it as easy as possible. But for transformation tasks, the stuff you need to deeply understand and master for yourself, you must use AI to add friction. You're not looking for an easy answer. You're looking for a workout.
So how do you actually do that? You use AI as your personal spotter at the gym. After you've studied a concept yourself, you ask the AI to quiz you using progressive overload. You start simple. Quiz me like a high school student. Then you ramp it up. Okay, now quiz me like a college student. Then, quiz me like you're interviewing me for an executive job. And finally, you go for the boss level. Challenge me like an irate boss who thinks I'm totally unprepared. This is how you build real, lasting mental muscle.
We've covered all the practical steps, but honestly, none of it works without one crucial internal adjustment. And this is our final step. Step 4, the intelligent fool. It's about overcoming the single biggest obstacle to intelligence there is, your own ego. When Satya Nadella took over as CEO of Microsoft, the company was kind of struggling. He started one major cultural shift, and it's captured perfectly in this quote. He moved them from a culture of know-it-alls to a culture of learn-it-alls. This gave the smartest people in the room permission to say, you know what, I don't know, and to embrace a beginner's mind. The result? A 10x growth in value, from $300 billion to over $3 trillion. It's amazing.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good corporate idea. It's literally rooted in neuroscience. Our brains physically rewire themselves. It's a process called neuroplasticity. But here's the catch. It only happens when we're at the very edge of our ability. It happens when we're struggling, when we're feeling a little frustrated, and when we're making mistakes. The bottom line is, if you aren't feeling a little bit stupid, you probably aren't really learning.
We've covered the entire framework, from being intelligently lazy all the way to embracing the intelligent fool. So what's the one thing you can do right now, today, to put all of this into practice?
Here it is. I want you to think of one thing in your job, in your field, that you're secretly afraid to ask about. You know, that thing that everyone just assumes you already know. Today, go to an AI and ask the most basic, simple, dumb question about it you can possibly think of. Ask it to explain it to you like you're 10 years old. You have to have the courage to play the fool today so you can be the genius tomorrow.